What's going on, Bods? Welcome back to the Baud Fawk Sports Podcast. As usual, I'm Justin. I'm here with my broski Tarren.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, so everyone, the biggest headlines of the day. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been stacked by Manchester United. I'm very happy that we've made this decision. I wish Ole nothing but the best, but his reign is over. There's been some great memories with Ole and a lot of downs, a lot of ups, but I think the time has come for him to go. And yeah, it's over. He's done. So what do you make about that, Taryn?
Personally, as a non-Man United fan, I'm devastated. I am so sad. I at least wanted like him to last another 8 days so he could stay for the Chelsea game because that's your next Premier League match. Sadly, we will not be getting that, but I'm still pretty sure we'll win. But it's a sad day for the rest of the league. For you guys, joy, whatever, happy. But for literally every other team in the league, we're sad now.
Yeah, I think the time, I've said this on previous episodes. I think he should have been gone after Young Boys, then Liverpool and Leicester and City, and now Watford finally. So yeah, the Watford game was horrendous, I should say. I was gonna say heroic, but it was just not heroic at all. It was actually the complete opposite. But yeah, I mean, he had some good moments with the club. Sadly, never won a trophy, so that's probably something he wanted to do. But he did bring us out of a really bad slump. I feel like we were in. So I'm forever grateful for that. He even brought in Bruno Fernandes. He's brought the best of the players like Rashford. So, he has done a lot of good for the club, but I just think that it was just a downward spiral from here on out. And I don't think it was going to get any better. So I think his time was up.
Yeah, I think he set you up now to be replaced by a really top quality manager and succeed. But he clearly just wasn't the guy for the job. For what you guys have aspirations for now. But yeah, just it's sad. It's sad for me, and even some Man U fans. Not every Man U fan wanted him gone. You have wanted him gone for a bit now, but a lot of other Man U fans are sad, and he was sad. He was crying. It was pretty sad to see, and he was hugging fans and stuff. You can tell he clearly loves the club, but
yeah,
his time is up.
Yeah, I think what some fans and rightfully so, is that everyone's always been connected to Ole because of that amazing Champions League final goal, which is probably the best goal in our club's history, really. So that goal will forever be in the club, and nothing will take that away from him. So I think that it's unfortunate that some people, I'm not going to be one of those people, but some people will only know Ole as this manager that was just not good for the club. But real ones know he's a club legend, and he's just amazing as a player. He was amazing for us. And yeah, I'll always be grateful for his time, but I just think, it had to come to an end. And I think if he wasn't Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he would have been gone a long time ago. But because it's who he is, I feel like we kind of held on to him a bit more, maybe called him a bit more. So because our board is not that ruthless compared to Chelsea's with Lampard, let's say. So yeah, I think I just think the Leicester result should have been it. But then the Liverpool result really should have been it. And then we still kept them and then played horrible against City. The City game was probably worse than the Liverpool game, in all honesty, despite the scoreline. It was horrible. And then now Watford 4-1 away at Vicarage Road. There was one time where United went 30 games unbeaten away, and now we're losing away to Watford. So I think that kind of really solidified his end as manager.
Yeah, especially Watford. Just not the team to be losing. If you guys lost 4-1 against us, or obviously Liverpool, Man City, those kind of quality of teams, that makes more sense. Watford though, I don't know, man. They were just doing whatever they wanted pretty much the whole game. They pretty much just had free reign.
Kind of embarrassing.
I did want to talk about some of the stuff that happened in the game though. De Gea, 2 penalty saves in a row.
That was class.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. To see him, against Villarreal, not save a single one out of 11, and then he goes and does this. It's pretty funny.
That was good. Honestly, I didn't expect. I was really happy when he saved the first one, obviously. But then when it was getting retaken, I wasn't even going to be mad if he didn't save it, because that's a bit too much. You can't expect a goalkeeper to make 2 penalty saves in the span of a minute, and he did just that. So that was really cool to see. That's despite, I think in that moment it was like a confidence booster, but now I could say it just didn't matter because the end result. But that was a cool moment, I will say.
Well, it looked like it boosted his confidence for a bit, but then like the Man United defense kept failing him, and you just saw like no matter how confident you are, you're not going to stop that just all out attack. The defense was bad. Wan-Bissaka wasn't amazing. Lindelof kind of was just a ghost. Didn't really do much. Uh, Luke Shaw came off injured too. So do you know anything about that?
No, I haven't heard really because of the Ole news. That's all of the news has been with the club. I haven't heard single thing about his timetable to return. I hope it's not serious because, like, it's not never good to lose a starter, but I hope Luke Shaw's okay. But yeah, like, I just think the tactics were wrong, honestly. And, like, no matter how bad the defense plays, no matter if it's against Watford or City, if you're just letting them attack you and go all out attack, like, I'm not expecting any defense to just stop, especially with like the tactics that we have. So like Matic didn't have a good game, neither did McSauce, and that was our midfield duo. So we started the game off like that with Donny Van de Beek on the bench, who we'll talk about after. But so I just feel like the tactics and the lineup really set us up to fail because, like, at the end of the day, like Watford, despite them being in 20th place, which is still pains me to say, they're still professional footballers. So like, they still have talent. So the fact that like, we just allowed them to run all over us and play park the bus counterattack, like it's never going to work. So I think we really shot ourselves in the foot doing stuff like that. And even for their second goal, like Sancho dropped back from right wing to like left back. Like I forget the circumstance of how he ended up there. But like, yeah, I just feel like the tactics were off the whole game. And I feel like, Solskjaer didn't really do anything to set us up to win. I like it all in that game.
Yeah, this might be kind of crazy. I don't know if you agree with me, but I thought personally Sancho was Man United's best player in that game. It was the first time that I've seen Sancho this season genuinely look like like a top class player. He was. I know he didn't get an assist or a goal, but not everything is about numbers all the time. But I genuinely thought his performance was good. He was whipping in crazy balls. It's just Bruno had a very off night. He was missing, and Ronaldo had an off night, which doesn't happen often. But I know he got an assist, but his shooting boots weren't really what they usually are. So
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Like Sancho running down the wing was, yeah, like I said, was really inspiring. And it's like, for the Donny goal, like Sancho was assisting Ronaldo. I
yeah,
wouldn't necessarily say, because some people were saying, was it a shot? Was it a pass? I don't know what Ronaldo's thinking in his head. But like any other day, that's probably just a headed goal. So like
yeah,
Sancho literally set up that goal. And then there was one time where he bombed down the wing and then passed it right to Bruno. And then Bruno like did some half volley and he kind of slipped on the turf and it just went wayward. So I feel like any other game, it's like he could like collect that pass and slot it home. So yeah, Sancho was looking lively today. Last night he was definitely playing pretty good.
yeah. No, I thought Sancho was great, but yeah, Bruno that slip. Even Ronaldo had I think he slipped up just before he shot that one-on-one with Forster.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, it wasn't the best attacking night, and your midfield just kept losing the ball.
yeah.
Like you said, Matic and McTominay just they weren't really great. And then subbed on Van de Beek, who scored.
Yeah, he was looking like really good. The link up with him and Sancho was so good. And then even that 1v1 where that was from Donny's pass. So Donny looked amazing. Like, and it's funny because this whole time, I feel like people have been saying, besides maybe like a CDM, we also need like just someone who could push the ball up consistently. And like Donny was just doing that all game. Now, granted, it was against Watford, so I could see why people might not think that this was like some world-class performance. But then they someone who's only played 154 minutes out of like I think it's like 2000 or something like that to come on and do that, like that really impressed me. So I think he had a great second half for himself.
Yeah, he looked really good. It's kind of ironic that he finally gets to play, and he actually plays really well and scores, and Ole gets sacked. The guy who just never really gave him a chance.
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny. But I did wanna talk about Maguire, because we did talk about this a little earlier, just through text, and we disagree. But I thought Maguire was shocking, just like pretty much how he has been this whole season. Just switched off, not really paying attention, gets sent off, and he's definitely at fault for that first Ismaila Sarr goal, Watford's second goal. Like Sarr was just wide open in the box. Maguire's just standing around. There's so many times in the games where I just see Maguire walking around and standing around just looking. Like, go mark someone, go press someone. He's just like, I don't know. For me, with Maguire, when it's really good, like when things are going good, Maguire is really good. But when things are bad, Maguire is legit like a detriment to the team. And I can't say, like, I can't say he had a good game when, or any part of the game was good from him. When you get sent off, you concede 4 to Watford, and you're the captain, and you're a center back.
I mean, yeah, like, see, to me, like in the first half, like, he did stop like 3 1v1s. Like he'd had a couple blocks in the box. He was marked. Like I thought his positioning was better. I wouldn't say necessarily it was all his fault for this second goal. Like, I'm pretty sure a ball got played between Sancho and Shaw. And like, that just, like, to me, the laziness on that play was that. The fact that they allowed, it was like a 2-on-1, they allowed to get split. Like that's a no for me. And like, the Sarr goal, like it just fell to him and he just took it and it was a nice shot. Like I'm not gonna say that
fell
was
to
like
him right in the box at prime position, and Maguire is standing around marking no one.
I mean, like, remember though, how did the ball get through? Like to me, Shaw and Sancho.
Hey, but you gotta, as a center back, you gotta predict the ball getting to an offensive player in the box. Like you can't just leave him wide open and do fuck all. Like you gotta
do say it's necessarily his fault though. Like you like cut him some slack there. Like how, like it went through Sancho and Shaw. Like is he supposed to just morph and get the ball from where Sancho and Shaw?
He's supposed to mark Sarr.
I mean, like, it was just positioning. Like I wouldn't necessarily blame it all on him. Like the other
but he deserves blame.
I wouldn't like blame. Like I didn't think.
Yeah. See. Okay. Just bias Man U fan then.
I wouldn't say it's biased. I'm blaming Shaw and Sancho. Like they should have dealt with that situation better. It was a 2-on-1, and they got through them. And again, like I don't know what the tactic setup was, but like why is Sancho playing left back or like in the left area? Like he's playing right wing. He's at the back. Like so, I forget off the top of my head how he got there, but like again, I don't know what the tactics were that said, okay, Jaden, let's get back and do your defensive due diligence on the left hand side. So I thought in the first half, besides De Gea, because obviously he made the double saves, like, he was definitely like our best player, but like we played horrible. Like I thought Maguire was our best player in that first half. He stopped like a Josh King shot. You got back on defense because the counterattack for Watford, like I don't know what our tactics are saying, but they're just wide open. And he stopped a few counterattacks, stopped some one-on-ones. Like I didn't have any complaints from the first half, but like, yeah, second half to me, that was a really sloppy. It was a lazy yellow card, I should call it. Not sloppy. It was just lazy. Like he clicked off.
It was sloppy. Like it was a terrible touch. He had the ball, a terrible touch. I don't know what he was thinking. Like you're not that guy. You're not that fast. You can't do that. So I thought that was very sloppy, lazy, stupid, whatever you want to call it. I can never say I definitely can't say he had the best first half of any Man United player. The fact that you conceded 2 and he's the captain, man. You're conceding 2 to Watford and you're the captain, you're the center back, you're 80 something million. I'm not going to say, "Oh, you had the best goal in the first half." No way. But
I mean, he did more. But he did more for us than like every other defender. Plus, like Bruno Ronaldo didn't have a good first half. I feel like Sancho did. Yeah, like he was pretty good. Didn't think Rashford did that much at all. Matic and McTominay were horrible. So like just with that whole combination, to me,
I'd say Sancho or De Gea over.
Yeah, so well, to me, not including De Gea, because like obviously it's different because he actually made 2 like world class penalty saves. So like I would say I would go De Gea, Maguire, Sancho for like the first half.
All right. Yeah. No, it's just I don't know. And then so Maguire has that performance. He gets sent off, and then he goes out later and goes out like partying on the town. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like to me, I didn't think footballers like had like a life, but like, you know what I mean? Because like, it's so strict. Like, was there not training today? So it's like, to me, that's not a good look at all. Like, I'm not going to defend that. That's horrible because like, you got to have your priorities straight. Even if we won 10-0, why are you going out to party if we have training like the next day and you are the captain, like you mentioned? If it was like Fred, like I would not care because like I just don't care. But like, why is Maguire doing that? I personally like that. I don't think that's a good look. And like, not making that comparison, but like whenever I think of captains, like I always think of like Rory Keane. So it's like I just think to myself, like, what would Rory Keane say in this position or something like that, And I didn't see him comment on it on Sky Sports yet because I'm sure they will eventually, and that'll be everywhere. But yeah, no, I just don't get, like, I don't know if that's like a mentality thing. It probably is, but like I just don't get why he's doing that really. And again, we could have won 10-0 against Watford. I don't get why he's going to go at the party if we have training the next day. And the Ole situation, because it was said right after the game that, okay, we're going to have a board meeting with Ole. So like that was going down. If it would be different, if it was like, okay, Solskjaer got sacked randomly at 1 a.m., it was said, okay, they're having a board meeting right after the game and it lasted for the rest of the day and night. So like that situation was clearly there. Like, and he, like, if I knew that, then he knew that. Right. So like, yeah, I just don't get why he thought that was a good idea to go party.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, like, there's just so many questions with Maguire. He's definitely not consistent, no matter what you want to say. You cannot tell me that guy is consistent. So, I think first act of either Michael Carrick, because he's the interim manager for now, or if you guys bring in someone else, I think the first act has to be stripping him of the captain's armband, and I think it's either got to go to Ronaldo or Bruno or I don't know, maybe De Gea or just someone else. It has to go to someone else because I just don't think he is the captain that you guys thought he was going to be, and I think it's finally time to just try something else.
I mean, yeah, like that's a fair point, but like to me, and I know I made this argument with you before, like for England, when he's like, he looks like a leader and the tactics not are the best, but they're still way better than Solskjaer. So I feel like, in a competent system, I'm not saying he's going to turn into some world-class captain. I'm saying he's a like play though. I think he'll get better. But yeah, no, I personally don't get why we never gave De Gea the captain's armband. I thought he did the most to deserve it. And I know that was kind of like a story. I don't know how legit it was, but apparently De Gea is like really mad. Well, was mad that he didn't get it. So yeah, I don't get why he didn't get the armband when he did. And even now, I'd still say Bruno. Like if it's not De Gea, I think it should be Bruno, just because I feel like he's done everything to deserve it. But like, I just want to see how the players and maybe even Fred, we use Fred McTominay too. I want to see how some of like the lesser players do and like an actual system and like, with a decent manager with like genuine tactics. Because now that Solskjaer is gone, what is Solskjaer ball? Sorry, like I still don't know. Like what is his style of play? I could not tell you, and I've watched him for the last 3 years. So I think that also like is an issue to it. And again, this doesn't just go for like Maguire. Like Fred does play pretty good for Brazil, and he's horrible for us. McTominay plays different roles for Scotland and is great for them. Look at how good Luke Shaw was in the Euros. So it's like I'm not going to say that like, okay, it all comes back to Ole, but I'm going to cut the players some slack, even though they do need to take responsibility for a lot of it. I will cut them some slack on that department because maybe with the new manager, it'll be like a rejuvenated system and a rejuvenated locker room, and then more players will have more motivation because I really don't know what to say about some of their performances.
So who do you think is the best option then, right? So they're looking at Brendan Rodgers. They're going to try and take him away from Leicester, or he's going to leave or something. Or Blanc is now coming up. So what are your thoughts on those guys, or if there's another guy that you think?
Yeah, like I don't think Brandon Rodgers at all. No, we've talked about this before. No Brandon Rodgers. Luis Enrique, I saw. No Luis Enrique either. I think he's fine in Spain. Same goes for Poch. Don't want to get Pochettino on the team. So I think right now, because we have Carrick, so I guess Carrick will be the manager, interim manager. But if we sign someone to coach until the summer, then I would prefer it to be like Laurent Blanc, I would say. I feel like he would be solid if he's like leaving. So then in the summer, if we are going to get like a new manager, then I want Tang from Ajax, I would say, or Zidane. But I think like there are reports that he might come now. I don't know if he is coming now, but like I think yeah, if we get a manager from now that's only going to coach for the next 7 months, then I would prefer it to be probably Blanc, I would say, because he does have experience. Yeah, he was at PSG, so
Yeah,
I would prefer Blanc.
I think Blanc is a good shout. Obviously like Man United legend. He played for you guys, so I think Blanc is definitely a good shout. Or if Carrick turns out to be like decent, then okay, but we'll see. He was under Ole, so we'll see how that works out. But yeah, I think Blanc for the interim. I still do not think Zidane will ever take the main manager job. Um, but yeah, apparently their main target is Brendan Rodgers. I know you don't really want him, but apparently that's who they're going for. Uh, and with Leicester struggling, like, it makes sense, because he could want out right now. And apparently, I don't know if you heard this, but apparently, if Brendan Rodgers does leave Leicester, apparently Lampard wants the Leicester job. Like, that's the first job that he won't like remove himself from. So um, again, remember we were talking about it, and I said, like, he probably values himself a little higher than what other people in the league will.
Yeah.
Um, I think the Leicester job is a little more high profile and requires something a little bit better than Lampard currently. Um, so, but like I said, you know, I do think he's a little bit better than people give him credit for. But yeah, I think he values himself a little too highly there, and that's if Brendan Rodgers leaves. But I don't think Brendan Rodgers is that great either, to be honest. And I think Leicester are just struggling. They made some good signings, but like, I don't know. What do you think about Leicester?
Yeah, see, it's so funny because if you go back a few weeks ago, when Leicester at their worst run of form in the season, then we play them away and they smash us 4-2. But I think the thing about Leicester City is that, I think this is just a result of Brandon Rodgers. And I know I mentioned this on that episode too. So I think the Brendan Rodgers era needs to come to an end, even though it's kind of an abrupt end, but it needs to come to an end so they could move on as a club. Because I know we've said this about other coaches in other sports, but I think they've peaked. Like, I think Brendan Rodgers' Leicester is always going to be known as that team that's in the top four for the whole season and then balls it in the final 3 weeks and misses out on Champions League. So I think that's all you're going to get from Leicester. Granted, they won the FA Cup against you guys, so like that was a good achievement for them. But like, I think they've already peaked. So whether it's now or in the summer or next year, I think if Leicester want to get forward as a club, I think Rodgers has to go. And it's kind of similar to the Ole thing. I think once he's gone, players will be more rejuvenated. I feel like the locker room will be different, might be new tactics. And I feel like, thing about Rodgers is that I'm not going to say he's bigger than Leicester itself, but I feel like Leicester need more of like a Ranieri type beat where he was like loved by the fans for what he's done at like Leicester and being like that underdog kind of story. I don't think Rodgers and Leicester on paper is the greatest like fit, if that makes sense.
So, but where do you think like Rodgers does fit? Because we both don't think he's that great, and I don't think he's even good enough for Leicester. I think Leicester are they deserve better than Rodgers, to be honest. Just because they won the Premier League. I know it was like a huge underdog season, but they won a Premier League, and they've had like good squads, and they start off not this season, but they start off the season clearly in top four, and everyone's basically asking like, oh, like who's the fourth guy, like the fourth team that's going to get in, and then like last week, or last 2 weeks before like the end of the season, and then they bottle it. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is on Brendan Rodgers, and maybe he took on that bottling gene from being the Liverpool manager.
Yeah.
It just runs through Liverpool's veins.
Yeah.
But yeah, like where do you think like would be good for Brendan Rodgers then?
Like to me, it's too late now, but I think maybe Aston Villa, that could have been good because now it would be more like, a bit of a challenge for Rodgers. That team specifically made a lot of summer signings too. So it would have been like a new group of players, new manager, fresh manager. But yeah, I don't really know because like I just think maybe if you were to see, this is now intriguing. Maybe he takes over the Rangers job. Maybe he'll go abroad, go to Scotland because Gerrard's gone. And I think, I think he can win. Well, like, okay, I shouldn't say I think he can win as if I watched the Scottish Premier League, but I think that would be a good fit because I know like Rangers is a top club. I think Rodgers is like he's like a good manager for like experience on that stuff, but maybe he's a bit out of it when it comes to the Premier League. I would say right now, this second.
Yeah, yeah. I just think his time, like you said, with Leicester is done, and Yeah, they did win an FA Cup against us. I
Yeah.
will forever hate Brendan Rodgers for that. And I also dislike Tielemans now because that goal he scored against us was just absolutely insane. And it really is just kind of annoying to me, honestly. But um, yeah, like I don't think he's a bad manager. I just think he's a little overrated. I don't think the Man United job is right for him. I think that's a bad idea if you guys do that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So we'll see. But maybe Leicester can start turning around their season. I think that's a good segue into the Chelsea Leicester game.
Yeah.
Uh, Chelsea 3-0 at the King Power. Um, I'm not sure if you watched the game, but it was it was honestly just amazing to watch as a Chelsea fan. Like it made me so happy to watch pretty much every moment of that game. There's not a single player that played for Chelsea in that game that I could say like, oh, that wasn't a great performance. Like there's no one that I was like, oh, they played bad. It was nice.
Yeah, I saw Rudiger's header. That was a great header, how he ran off the line and then did the nice back post thing. That was pretty cool from him. But yeah, I mean, Chelsea's form has been great. I personally didn't think that they were going to win 3-0. I think I predicted 2-1. Thought Leicester were going to bag a goal. But yeah, I mean, that's a solid performance. I know Mendy had some good saves too. The defense once again with another clean sheet, 2 goals tactics. I feel like he just doesn't miss because it's kind of easy. He knows what to do. He's like, you know what, I have the players for this. This is my system. Let's go and win a game. So I could respect how good he is tactically with the team. And I feel like he rarely messes up the tactics with that squad and he knows who to play.
Yeah, Tuchel. We've spoken about him before. His class is next level. Um, I will say, yeah, like Mendy had a couple amazing saves. He didn't really have much to do this game. There was one save, I think, against Amarty. That was like a world class save. So he made a couple saves. Didn't have a lot to do, but the saves that he did make were just absolutely class.
Yeah.
And now I think the record Petr Cech, his first 60 games under Chelsea, he had 35 clean sheets.
Yeah.
And now Mendy, his first 60 games for Chelsea, has 35 clean sheets.
Oh,
So he's on pace, with our greatest ever goalkeeper, and in my opinion, greatest goalkeeper in Premier League history. I know we disagree on that, but he's either way, like he's either one or two, pretty much. And so for Mendy to be on that pace and looking like it's not just because I remember when he first came in and everyone was like, oh, like he barely gets tested. The defense is really good. If you genuinely watch Chelsea, like he makes world class saves. Like he's phenomenal. I feel so safe with him at the back, but
yeah.
didn't have too much to do this game. Thiago Silva won man of the match. He probably wouldn't be my man of the match. He had a really good game, and that just shows the class. Like he's 37,
Yeah.
and obviously he can't play him every game because he's that old. It's kind of, like with like Cavani and stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of hard, but he's world class. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, Thiago Silva. It's crazy to think about that he's 37 because like 10 years ago, so in 2011, he was like 27 years old. And so it's like, damn, to think that he's still around. It's like, it's crazy to think about. And like, I think in a few years' time when he's retired, we'll look back and think, wow, like he was really one of the best defenders like of our generation. He's just amazing to watch. And I think his Chelsea career, not in terms of trophies, but I think it almost impresses me just as much as his PSG career because at Paris, he was like, much younger in an easier league with a stacked team. I'm not saying you guys aren't stacked, but you get what I'm trying to say. But now with Chelsea, he's coming in as a 36-year-old, 37-year-old. He does get to play some consistent minutes and he looks amazing when he plays. It's not like he's like, oh, Thiago Silva's playing. We got to change up the tactics. He's like slow or something like that. He's still like amazing. And I love Thiago Silva. So I think that really impresses me that he could still at 37 have like these top class performances and in the Premier League nonetheless. So I think it's really cool from him.
Yeah, like I don't know if he's quite at the level of this guy, but he's basically like in my mind, kind of like this season he's like the Brazilian John Terry. You know,
Yeah.
he's not the most like fast guy as you said, and he's old and stuff, but his mind of the game, like I can't remember who said it, but someone said if there's anything that Thiago Silva doesn't know about the game, then it's not worth knowing.
Yeah, I
pretty
saw
much.
that. Yeah,
Like
that's a really sick quote.
it's just a great way to sum him up because he's just so smart. Like his positioning is so good. He knows where to be. Um, and he was just class. Like he was setting up like runs for us and creating chances from the back. He's just such a great ball player. Like he can ping a pass, and the distribution from the back is what Tuchel loves. So yeah, Thiago Silva was class. Trevor Chalobah, like I don't know what else I need to say about this guy. He's a youngster. He's coming into the first team, playing big minutes, and he's showing his quality. Um, I would love to see him get a call up for England soon. I think, with with Maguire struggling and John Stones, like I know they're good, and then you also have like Kyle Walker or Ben White, but give Chalobah a shot because he's genuinely like really good. So he was nice. Rudiger probably, in my opinion, was man of the match. I know we brought up his goal.
Yeah, it was a classic.
John Terry-esque header, brilliant ball in from Chilwell, who's, in my opinion, has to start for England now. Especially with, Luke Shaw might be injured, but even just based on form, if Luke Shaw wasn't injured, like you can't argue that Chilwell hasn't been class. He almost had 2 goals in this game. One of them hit the crossbar, but he's been so good. And I know he wasn't starting at the beginning of the season because like he was having some mental issues, I guess, after not playing a single game for England. But he has to start on the left for England now, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see come July. Is that when the World Cup is? June, July. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. I think Chalobah, just to touch on him, I think he could be playing his way into an England spot. I thought this might be a good talking point, but do you think Trevor Chalobah is clear now of Fayuko Tomori? Do you think he's better than Tomori?
That's a good question. Tomori was really good in that first season under Lampard, and they kind of do like similar things. They're not the biggest like guys like, but they're fast. They move up into the midfield. They can both play a pass. So I don't want to say just yet he's better than like what I saw Tomori as, and more Tomori has been killing it for Milan. So
yeah.
Right now, like I don't know, that's a debate for sure. But Tomori's getting like regular minutes for Milan, so I'd probably still say him. But Chalobah definitely has the potential. Like he's playing at this level, and he's still so young. So
yeah,
who knows?
I mean, it'll be interesting to see because I feel like Tomori, and I guess now you could even say Chalobah. I feel like they might be competing for that final England spot. I don't know about Mings and what he's saying, but like I think if he keeps playing, at this level, I think he has a legit shot to make it. But then again, it's like, if you're Southgate, who do you choose for that final spot? Is it Chalobah or Tomori? So I think that's a good talking point for sure. He might get his way on the plane in July. You never know.
Yeah, that would make me happy. But if not, like I get he's still young. He'll work his way into the team, I'm sure. But another England national, Reece James again. He got an assist, and he was great defensively when he needed to be. Although didn't really need to do too much. Leicester only created a few chances. Madison I thought looked really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reece James again, man. He's just and it's crazy because like Trent has been so good, and so like it's so tough. But again, Reece James showing his quality. He keeps going into the midfield and playing really great passes. And then speaking of the midfield, like N'Golo Kante, oh my god, man! If I didn't say Rudiger was the man of the match in my opinion, it would be Kante.
Yeah, he had a great performance that game, and his goal was class. Was it a left-footed strike too?
Yeah,
it was class. I saw that. It was really good. I know we talked about that one, and someone was like, "Yeah, I saw him score a Messi type of goal. I saw him play a Fabregas type of pass." I was like, "Yeah, no, that's definitely class from him." You just can't hate N'Golo Kante. I feel like no matter what team you support. So I like when he plays good because like who doesn't like when Kante goes off? So that was a really good goal from him.
Yeah, when Conte is fully healthy, he's such a game changer. Like He was all over the pitch as usual, doing his defensive work, a bunch of interceptions, winning the ball back for us. And what I've been seeing a lot more recently out of him is, and we saw it back in the day too, but he's not just winning the ball back and passing it off now. He's running up too, like he's getting involved in the attack. And I think his attacking play is underrated. A lot of people say like he's not really good at attacking, but he's genuinely like good. He's just like better on the defensive end.
Yeah.
But yeah, like some people were saying, like the Fabregas pass, he was playing really great passes, linking up with a bunch of people, making top tier runs. He almost had another goal.
Yeah.
And that finish with his left foot, like just unstoppable. So he was phenomenal. Our midfield was just phenomenal. Like Jorginho was insane. He went off with a minor injury. I was scared because apparently, like, not apparently, I was watching the game and the announcer said like he just said the word hamstring. He was on the floor like holding his leg and he said hamstring. I was like, no, chill. It was just a minor cramp. He's okay. One beautiful thing that I saw, he was coming off, and we're at the King Power, so it's only like a small group of Chelsea fans, and they're all singing Jorginho, Jorginho, and it was just it was filling up the whole stadium, just standing ovation for Jorginho. That made me really happy for sure.
So do you think his Ballon d'Or shouts are still on?
Bro, he deserves it, man. I'm telling you, he's so good. He won the Euros. It's definitely harder than the Copa America. So, and he won the Champions League. And you know what? He's looking like he's about to win the Premier League. So, give him his credit. But yeah, he was phenomenal. And then Kai Havertz was decent. He didn't get on the score sheet, but he was decent. Mount was decent. Again, also didn't get in the score sheet, but he played some good pressing and he was just kind of all over the pitch. Cho, again, looking like one of our best players when he's playing in his preferred position. Ziyech actually came on as a sub and looked good. That's what I'm saying. Like every player that played for Chelsea looked good. Ziyech with a great assist, showing off his skill in the box. Yeah. Beautiful pass to Pulisic. Pulisic is now back healthy. Got a goal. He looked really good. So just pretty much all at least an 8 out of 10 across the board for every Chelsea player, if not, higher. And for Thomas Tuchel, 10 out of 10.
So gotta ask you this as a Chelsea fan. This might be an instant no, but do you think Chelsea are better without Lukaku?
No, I do not. I don't know like where people are getting this, but if you basically you're replacing like Kai Havertz with Lukaku, and nothing against Kai Havertz, but Lukaku is just better as a forward.
Yeah.
Like I know the contributions weren't there at the end, just before he got injured, but he was genuinely playing good. Like I always say this, like he was actually playing good. He just wasn't getting fed very well. We were struggling creatively, but I think the link up of him and Cho, if we actually start playing Cho in his preferred position, like we have been with Lukaku, him, Cho, and Mount, I think that'll be great. And then him and Werner was looking really good before they both got injured as well.
Yeah.
So I just don't know if Thomas Tuchel's gonna want to play them both again, just in case, because that kind of screwed us over for a bit. Like just lost both of our main strikers. So yeah, I don't know if he'll do that again, but they did look good playing together.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens position-wise when he comes back. So, like, despite form, you think Havertz will just get the bench for sure?
Well, he's going to be played as, like that inside forward, like a left cam along with Mount a lot of the time. Like, that's what Thomas Tuchel is doing. But I think now that Cho has been, like, emerging as, like, a really, like, good player, it's going to be hard for Havertz to get, like, the starts because Cho is there now. Werner will play in that position. Pulisic can play in that position. Ziyech can play in that position. And Mount is pretty much a lock. So there's like one spot for all those guys. And Cho has our most chances created this season. And he hasn't started every game. And a lot of them have been at like wing back. So it's going to be tough for Havertz to get back in. But we play so many games with, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League, that he'll obviously get game minutes. We have lots of games to play.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, Chelsea are looking very good, but I just want to see Lukaku play again just because I like Lukaku. So hate seeing him injured. But yeah,
Well, he might be coming back for the Manchester United game.
yeah, that would be interesting to see. Like, that's great. Like, that's actually just perfect. I wouldn't want anything else. Well, of course he is, bro. Of course. You know what? In all seriousness, I hope he doesn't play that game and then he comes back the week after. That would be great.
Yeah, like he's back in team training now, but we're not sure if he's going to be ready for the Man United game. Timo Werner has actually progressed very well, and he's back and ready, so he could actually be playing in that Man United game.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not going to count out United yet just because, the players we have, but it's just, yeah, really interesting to see how we even set up and who we set up with, because who knows? Carrick is the manager right now, but come next week, he might not even be. So it'll be interesting to see what goes down with that.
And you guys play Villarreal during the week, don't you?
I think we do. Yeah, I think it's on Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those days. So yeah, I mean, I think Carrick's going to manage that game. I think that's what everyone's saying. So Carrick might go 1-for-1 because hopefully we win that game and then hand it off to
that win rate.
Yeah, so I hope we beat Villarreal, or else I'll just be very upset again. So
yeah, but yeah, that Chelsea Man U game is going to be pretty interesting to watch. I did want to say quickly while we're still on the topic of Chelsea, some more news has come out on Rudiger. As everyone knows, he is a free agent at the end of the season, and we're in contract negotiations with him. Apparently, he wants like $200K a week, or $250 or something, and we offered him, I think, $150. And he felt insulted. But so Bayern are lining up, Juventus are lining up, Real Madrid want him, and PSG want him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. Apparently, he wants to stay at Chelsea. He wants to stay in London. He feels comfortable there. He likes the team. He's competitive. We're winning. So obviously, right? But he wants to be paid what he's worth. And I don't know how many times I've said this, but like just pay him. Just pay him what he wants. Like $200K for Rudiger, on current form, in my opinion, best center back in the league, just based on current form. So, Champions League winner, he's a huge part of the team. And I think what you're going to have to pay to replace him is just going to cost more anyway. So just pay him.
I mean, yeah, I think if I'm Rudiger, I'd obviously want to stay. But if you were to go, I think you should go to Bayern, honestly. Go back to Germany because he already has played in Serie A. I don't know if he has insane loyalties to AS Roma, but maybe he won't want to play for Juventus. But PSG is also interesting too because play with Messi and Neymar, and who wouldn't want to do that? I know Mbappe will probably be gone by then, but either way, if you go to PSG or Bayern, it's probably an instant league trophy and like a legit Champions League contender. So we'll see what happens. I mean, yeah, I don't get why. I don't know if it's like Abramovich. I don't know who controls that, but I don't get why Chelsea haven't paid him. I feel like his contract should have been sorted in the summer or even before that because I don't get why it's been like an issue. But I mean, yeah, it'd be a tough loss. And, the fact that you guys couldn't even get Koundé at the time, because like at least if Rudiger left, then okay, at least you got Jules Koundé as well. But he's not even there. Zuma's not there anymore. Chelsea was only getting older. So it would be a big loss if you guys did end up losing Rudiger, especially on a free transfer as well.
Yeah, and the fact that he plays left-sided, Tuchel really wants like a left-footed center back on the left side. So I think to replace him, he's looking for either Pau Torres or De Ligt. And I just like Pau Torres is good and he's young, but Rudiger is clear. And the fact that like I said, on current form, in my opinion, best center back in the Prem, and he's one of our best performers this season, and he's been at that level. Like you just got to give him what he wants, because what it's going to take to get De Ligt or Pau Torres, plus whatever is going to cost their wages. Like why not just pay Rudiger? I know he's like 29, but come on, he's playing at that crazy level.
Yeah, you'll probably have to pay over 100 mil for De Ligt, I feel like, too. So is that really worth it? I don't think Juve will take less than 75. That's what they paid for him. And he's still young, too. So I really don't see Juventus just settling unless they say, yeah, fuck it, let's just get rid of him. But I don't think they'll do that. So like you said, and I know I think Pau Torres is on Villarreal, right? They're very stingy on him, too. I remember United wanted him and they're asking for a lot. So it just wouldn't be like worth to go through all that trouble to get the Rudiger replacement when Rudiger doesn't even want to leave. So
Yeah, and Tuchel has been vouching for him, saying like just sign him and give him what he wants. But I don't know what the board's doing. We're waiting on Rudiger to sign a contract. Aspilicueta still has to re-sign. Christensen has to re-sign. Um, and I think Thiago Silva has to re-sign too. So I think four center backs on Chelsea now are awaiting a new deal, and the only one who has got one is Chalobah. So it's a little nerve-wracking. It's a little scary, but I do think we're going to go for Koundé in the January transfer window, or if not in the summer. And then I think Aspilicueta will stay. Apparently, Barca are interested. If you can get the captain of the Champions League winners and Chelsea, like if you can get Aspilicueta on free, like of course got to be interested. But I think he'll stay. I think Christensen will stay. I'm just worried about Rudiger.
yeah. And hey, like January's rolling up. He's allowed to listen to offers in January. So
Yeah.
who knows? If Bayern put a 300K deal on the table and Chelsea are still negotiating, he could just take it. You never know. So hopefully for Chelsea's case, they get that done soon, because that would be a huge loss, like you just said.
Yeah. So talking about really good center backs in the Prem, why don't we go over to the Liverpool Arsenal game? Talk about probably the best center back in the Prem, Benjamin White. No, I'm joking. He literally got put on the floor by Jota. It was really funny. What are your thoughts on that Liverpool Arsenal game?
I mean, I'm going to speak on this as a soccer fan, not as a Manchester United fan, because I don't have any rights to talk. But as a soccer fan, kind of like an I told you so moment. We talked about this a couple episodes back. Their insane 6 unbeaten game run was so overrated, like massively overrated. So I know I went bold. I said they're going to step up and lose and win. But at the end of the day, I can't trust Arsenal to do that. So they just looked, it's weird because I think that tells us more about Liverpool than Arsenal. I think it just shows how great Liverpool are as a team and how much work Arsenal still need as a team. Because again, I'm not going to bash them, because at the end of the day, you still got to win your games. So I'm not going to be like, oh, you shouldn't have won those 8 games. Like, you got to win those games. So yeah, I just think that Arsenal still have a long ways to go, I feel like, but they still look promising. But yeah, Liverpool, man, they're just, wow, Mane, Salah, Trent, they all looked amazing. Jota looked good. Even Minamino scored, and they got another clean sheet. So it's like, I feel like they're just firing on all cylinders these days.
Yeah, Trent looks so good. Like, oh man, I think he won man of the match. He definitely should have if he didn't. But that set piece, oh my god. And then the other assist to Minamino, use us everywhere, doing everything that they needed. So class. And I think it was like one of Salah's like worst games this season. And still he got a goal. Just all around dominance by Liverpool. They pretty much just did whatever they wanted. Ox got an assist against his former team.
Yeah.
Alisson had a couple saves to make, but really didn't get tested too much. Partey actually had a really, really sick shot from the top corner, but Alisson saved it. Ramsdale, I actually thought, in spite of, conceding that many goals, I still think he had actually a pretty good game. He made some big saves.
Yeah, had some insane double saves as well, especially in the first half, he was doing bits. But yeah, like I just think that, despite the recent success from Arsenal in terms of form, I feel like they're just still like a mid-table club. I know the league position will tell you otherwise, because they are doing good in the league. The thing about quality, though, they do look good at times, I will say. But like that game, I feel like really shows that. I feel like maybe they're a long ways away from the rest if they're going to ride it out with Arteta and this style of playing these players. But all season, though, they have looked pretty solid with some of these players. Smith Rowe has been good. Tomiyasu and Nuno Tavares have been very good fullbacks. And yeah, Saka's been good. But I don't know. I think maybe Arsenal fans, it's like a wake-up call, because now they're coming back to reality. I know we know Arsenal fans who like to chat all day and night until their team plays Liverpool. So didn't hear too much from them. But yeah, I think I'm not like gonna trash a team for losing to Liverpool, because my team lost to them really bad as well. But they're just a great team. And at the end of the day, first half kind of showed some fight, but second half it was just all Liverpool and it was just done out here.
Yeah. I definitely thought like the Arsenal back line was terrible.
Yeah.
Tavares was, or Tavares, I don't know how to say it, but he was shocking. That was definitely his worst game of the season. Benjamin White just didn't do much. Gabriel was just, according to one of our friends, he's better than Thiago Silva. So,
My God.
but yeah, no, I definitely thought their back line was pretty bad, but I did expect Liverpool to win, so this isn't too shocking. I'm sure it's shocking to some of the Arsenal fans who thought that unbeaten streak was going to stay, but I definitely didn't. It was definitely overrated. They should have lost to Crystal Palace. So this definitely made me happy. And like you said, like they're like a mid-table team. Like I think Arsenal, and this is we with me like also thinking like Man U are going to bounce back once they get a different manager and at least come in like the top 6. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're going to come out of the top 6. I expect them to go back into challenging for the top 4, but with like a new manager. But so I think Arsenal like are like maybe like 7th. Or I think that's good for them this season. What do you think?
Yeah, like 8th, 7th place. I think the thing about Arsenal fans and the team itself, which, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think playing at this rate, just playing good football and appealing football to the fans means more than results because we've seen how bad they've been the last couple of seasons. Emery and Arteta, their style of play and the way they looked was horrible. So I think Arsenal fans are more satisfied with maybe these wins against Palace, or sorry, these draws against Palace and like these wins against Watford. But if their team is playing good on their eyes, then I feel like that's all that matters. But back in our day, it was like, okay, Wenger, he's actually going to challenge for trophies. But right now, they're not in that place anymore. I don't think it's about challenging for trophies. I think it's about finding their identity and finding, Arteta's proper style of play and how he does with the players. So I just think that our fans shouldn't have expectations this year that maybe like a Chelsea or a City fan do. So I just think that they should just take whatever they can get, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Couldn't have said it better myself. They're definitely not what they once used to be. But let's move on to Man City Everton. Pretty easy for Man City. Everton haven't really been good.
Yeah.
João Cancelo, man, oh my god,
So
he's
good.
world class. Him, Reece James, and Trent are just like they're just blowing me away this season.
Yeah, no, he's looked very good. Rodri as well today. That screamer, that was a banger goal. Pickford had no chance. I feel
Yeah,
like it's a dominating day for City, but yeah, I think Cancelo and Rodri stand out today for me. They just, yeah, Cancelo specifically, he's just world class. Like I don't know what more I could say. And the thing too that might separate him from Trent and James is that he's like world class at both fullback positions. Like whether
yeah.
you want him at the left or the right, I feel like there's no disadvantage. So he's a wow, he's very good. And I can't believe Juventus gave him up for Danilo, which is still crazy to think about to this day. That the best or one of the best right backs in the world was acquired by giving up a 30-year-old Danilo. So
Yeah, I genuinely think that is probably up there with some of the worst business ever done
yeah,
by a club ever. Like Juventus might be one of the most poorly run teams in the world right now.
yeah.
That was such a terrible decision, and I thought so at the time too, because he was good for Juventus, so it didn't really make any sense.
Yeah, no, like he was world class for them too. So I just didn't understand it at all. It was funny that year too, because I just remember notoriously that Juventus offered I don't know why we said no, but apparently they offered United 50 million Dybala and Mandzukic for Lukaku. And I'm like, wow, that deal is so bad for them. Because like at the time Lukaku was not in form. I'm like, why would they ever do that? And of course it never happened. But yeah, and then that swap deal actually happened. And it's like, wow, how in a million years did that happen?
Yeah, that's just terrible. Like Juventus suck, man. I feel bad for the supporters. You know, they got to watch some greatness, and it's just being all thrown away.
I know.
Apparently, they're interested in Saul. They're interested in taking over the loan from Chelsea.
Oh,
which go right ahead, man. I don't really want Saul at the club anymore. I'm kind of just done with him now.
yeah.
So if they want him, like, take him. I don't think he's really going to help you. It would be funny to see Saul and Rabiot in the same midfield together, literally just being terrible. So go ahead, take him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, back to City though, that's another win for them. I feel like City, kind of like Liverpool. I just have these expectations now of them just dominating teams and winning games and all this stuff. I need, like with Pep, we might have our opinions on him, but at the end of the day, you're gonna get, what kind of style he's gonna play, the tactics, the formation. So it's like, yeah, just another masterclass. I can't be too surprised and too impressed because it is Everton. But at the end of the day, it's like, wow, this is a constant thing now with Pep and Klopp specifically. So yeah, I mean, I just hate Manchester City so much though, so I don't want to waffle too much about them because I hate them. But yeah,
Yeah,
not surprised with that
yeah.
result.
No, just big props to João Cancelo. Like you said, good on right back and left back. I will say, um, you know, he is very versatile as well. But so is Reece James. Obviously, we haven't seen him on the left back, but he's been playing like in the midfield for us a lot, like CDM, center mid. He can play center back. Tuchel's use him there. So, versatility in those kind of players is, and I'm pretty sure Trent could also be versatile too and play anywhere. I haven't really seen it, but I'm definitely sure he could play center mid or something. He's quality. So, all three, yeah, they're versatile. They're really good. And who would have thought, like back in the day, like the fullbacks were seen as like probably like the least important position on the field. Uh, and so now, like, who would have thought like some of the best players on some of the best teams are fullbacks?
Yeah, no, for real.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that. Once upon a time, Benjamin Mendy was like the best at that 1 year at Monaco, and that's why he was brought in. And now we can't get into it because I don't want this video to get taken down but yeah, so we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, no, it's crazy though, the fact that James, Trent, Cancelo, top players for top teams, and they're like right backs, like they're full backs. So I think that is really cool to see for real.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. If you want to talk about them quickly, again, I know you're a Man United fan, so we're literally going from talking about Liverpool to Man City to now Gerrard managing Villa. I know episode probably isn't your favorite. Also, he lost 4-1 to Watford, so it's definitely probably your least favorite episode. I'm enjoying it a lot, but yeah, Gerrard, first win for Villa.
Yeah, I mean, I know we talked about this before. I just think the Dean Smith reign sadly had to end. And yeah, I feel like Gerrard, the Villa should be getting like wins. If they had him from the start, it would be different. But like I said, I think he should just look for as many wins as he can, look to get results, look to establish a play style. And it's good that he started off with a win. Now, I don't expect them to win every game because obviously, I hate Gerrard. So I'm never going to say they're going to win every game. However, I think that his next 6 months or however much long it is should just be about establishing who he is as a manager with that club and the whole 9 yards like that. So good start for him. Hope it doesn't last, but I think it will because he is a proven manager. So I'll give him that respect. But yeah, so I feel like that's a really good win for them.
Yeah, I definitely think like Gerrard should spend this year. Obviously, Villa got to get some wins. They got to get moving up back into the middle section of the table at least. But Gerrard definitely has to focus on basically showing the rest of the league what kind of manager he is, because you can say all these things about like undefeated and finally won the league with Rangers, but like no one really watches that league, so no one really knows what he's like about. So I definitely think like this year should be spent like showing everyone who watches like the Premier League like what kind of manager he is, how he handles those big players who aren't playing really good, like Buendia. Um, uh, so I'm not sure what we'll see from him, but yeah, he's got to show like what kind of style. Like I'm excited to see like what kind of style of play he has.
Yeah, no, for real. I mean, I hope personally his style of play is bottling, just like how he did at Liverpool. So I hope I could expect a lot of like Oh, Aston Villa go up 2-0 against United, but we come back and win 10-2 because they concede 10 goals without an answer. But in all seriousness, yeah, like I think in terms of managerial like status and all that stuff, I think this could put him ahead of people. You know, maybe this will be kind of like a Kenny Dalglish effect, and he'll get the Liverpool job one day and do even better as a manager than a coach, or sorry, than a player. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, if you're a Liverpool fan, obviously you want him to succeed so he could take over. I feel like most Liverpool fans love Jurgen Klopp, but I think the Scousers would like turn on him if it meant Gerrard coming back. So I definitely see the idea of him doing like somewhat wonders with Villa if this sets him up for Liverpool. So I think he like if that's his goal, he's had the perfect start. Like you can't like start off the win. So I'm just intrigued to see if it could remain like this or if he's gonna fizzle out.
Yeah, like you, I definitely hope it fizzles out and it goes badly. I definitely would like to see some bottling happen.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, Demba Ba comes back to the Premier League and Gerrard sums on a player and he just randomly slips and costs them a big game or something. That would definitely be hilarious. But no, in all seriousness, like he's definitely setting himself up for the Liverpool job. I think Klopp wants a new challenge too.
Yeah.
Like I think he's probably taken the squad. Like we'll see with this season, but I don't know. I don't see them ever winning a Champions League again. And I know they're competing for the Premier League, but I think he's probably taken this squad as far as it can go or close to, and he's probably looking to maybe do that with another team and establish himself as like a legendary manager. Because you can only do it with you can do it with one team, but it's definitely hard to cement yourself with that one team. Things get stale. Obviously, like Sir Alex Ferguson is definitely a great example of how you can do it with one team. But like we saw, like Pep established himself at Barcelona and then go to Bayern and now at Man City. So I think Klopp is going to want to do that. Maybe go. I don't know. Maybe he'll go to like somewhere in La Liga and manage maybe like Real Madrid or something. I don't know, but that would be cool.
Yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see. Like I've always been a fan of Klopp because I thought he did really good at Dortmund when he won back-to-back league titles. But since he transformed Liverpool, I kind of hate him now by default. So I hope he gets out of there. And hey, maybe Gerrard will take over and then he'll flop with them. That would be a great goal for mine. So yeah, I wouldn't mind Klopp leaving Liverpool anytime soon.
Yeah, I'd love to see another like 30-year drought without them winning a Premier League. That would be great.
That would be crazy.
I definitely don't love Klopp for ending that and actually winning them trophies and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was very funny to see Liverpool fans, talk this big game about how great they are and then consistently bottle it every year. But yeah, hopefully Gerrard does bad. We'll see. And just another thing you want to talk about, Spurs 2-1 over Leeds.
Yeah, I mean that's a good result for Conte. I know we mentioned before, but I think Leeds very, very overrated team. I'm not a fan of them at all. So I think good result. Maybe this will be the start of something. Who knows? I don't think it will be because we've talked about Spurs in the past. That's a positive result. Must be for Conte. So I mean, yeah, I guess Tottenham fans have something to smile about, but how long will it last? Yeah, I don't think. I think this season Tottenham it's chalked. I don't think anything will happen besides a Conference League win, because if they don't win the Conference League, then something is actually messed up. But in terms of Premier League success, I think there'll be none for like a while.
Yeah, and I definitely like to keep it that way. I definitely like seeing Tottenham fail repeatedly.
Yeah,
one of my favorite things to see in the Premier League. It probably goes like, seeing Chelsea do good, seeing Tottenham do bad, and seeing Arsenal do bad. Those are like my three favorite things to watch. So if we could see, especially Conte go there and fail, the fact that he was a Chelsea manager and he was one of my favorite Chelsea managers ever.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was a Chelsea manager and went to Tottenham, I definitely want to see him fail now. So that would be great to see.
Yeah, no, for real. But yeah, I mean, I hate Spurs too. I hate Son. Hate Conte now.
I don't know how you hate Son though.
It's just because that one game against Man U. I hate that guy, bro. Cavani should have had 2 goals, man. robbed them. But
Son
hey,
is class, man.
I mean, I hope Harry Kane decides to play football soon, so we can have him for the World Cup for England. So that's one thing I hope. Now let's hope Harry Kane averages a hat trick a game, but Spurs lose every game 4-3. Wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't really care for Harry Kane, so I'll just say, how about they lose every game 4-0? No. But especially if maybe Lloris could look so bad that we don't play him in the World Cup,
Oh yeah.
and we decide to play Mike Maignan, that would be phenomenal. Definitely not going to happen, but that would be great. And then quickly to wrap this up, we'll just say, Wolves shocked West Ham after West Ham literally just beat Liverpool, and now they go and lose 1-0 to Wolves. Just kind of shocking.
Yeah, no, that's a result that went under the radar because of the United game. There's some 3-3 results as well. So that is very shocking. I think West Ham, since they're not like, I'm not going to disrespect them, say they're not a big English club, because they are, but since they've never been historically known for winning trophies. This is like just a result. That's just the most West Ham result thing ever. Like if you want to compete at the top and you want to get into top four and all that stuff, you got to win these games. And like, again, the Liverpool result, massive result for them. Not taking that away from them, but you got to beat Wolves. You just got to
at least tie the game. At least get a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe they'll look back and be like, damn, if we had won some of these games, including this one, we would be in a better position at the end of the season. But who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. I definitely would rather them be in than Liverpool or Man City.
Yeah.
So I wanted them to do decent. Second best team in London.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know how good they're good. Like I thought maybe that result against Liverpool was a bit of an overperformance. Like I know they're good, but like Liverpool are Liverpool. So. But you got to get a point against Wolves.
Yeah, for real. But hey, I mean, maybe David Moyes, former United legend, hate him, but maybe he'll turn it around and get some results now.
Maybe you guys should bring him back.
You want me to gouge on my eyes?
Oh man! All right, well, I think that's good for this episode.
Yeah, I think we covered everything. Got the main headline of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer finally getting sacked, and we covered all the other teams. And yeah, I think that'll do it for today, everyone.
So thank you everyone for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it, and check us out on Instagram and TikTok. Anything you want to say, Justin?
Yeah, no, thank you once again, everyone, for watching. And like Tarren said, check us out on our social medias. Those links will be in the description. And yeah, I hope everyone has a good day. Thank you, guys.
See you guys.